and probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish your story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do is push the back button.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
Well. Everybody out there doing today is your boy, Coach Lee. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend. You did your damn thing, but not too much because we need you here to hang out with your boys. But welcome to the Playcall Sheet off-season edition, man. So it's almost time to actually lace them up and hit the gridiron, man. But we got a lot of good stuff for y'all tonight, but let's get the crew up in here so we can do a damn thing. And always, my fellow cowboy brother, you know, he always bringing that heat. Meta what? We're going to call him the man with the pen, the gunslinger, Meta what?
Yeah, man, your favorite East Coaster. La. Wait till we get our money right. What's going on, everybody? It is Monday, play call sheet. What we call the audibles, we call the shots over here, man. But you can come through, show love, like, share, subscribe, come vibe with us, man. And in this month of June, on the bang that it's been on, and you know, say we'll shout out the group on fabulous June. Every month's fabulous, but you know, it being June, man, it's twice as it. But can't continue, man. Triangle offense here, you know. Shout out to my man, you know, Tech winner, you know, Phil Jackson. You know what I'm saying, the junior of it. And we gonna ride down south for Mass to bring my man Chili Will in the building. The world with it.
What's good, folks? How we doing?
What's happening, man? The enforcer, baby.
Another day.
Yes, sir, man.
Play call sheet live in effect. Let's go.
Y'all have a good weekend?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It was great.
Absolutely. I know two did. Two
Bobby.
was in the street weekend.
I was in these streets.
In the streets.
What's going on, Bobby, man? What's going on? What's going on in that College World Series game, man? What's going on in that? Oh, you got the Tigers, so the Tigers must be winning.
Tigers, yeah.
On their way to a World Series title, College World Series title, that is. But anyway, man, you scrape. That's a championship.
Who they playing in the championship? Is it my Gators or did they not make it?
Gators.
It's my Gators, huh?
Gators split it yesterday. Gators tied the series yesterday. Game 3 tonight. Going on actually right now, if I'm not mistaken. So
go. God, go Gators, man.
Yeah, I don't think
beat down.
They beat us like we stole
something going on tonight. So we're gonna crown them the champions, man. I'm just gonna curse you guys real quick. And LSU Tigers with another college championship. Saint fans, you can hold this title up too.
They're gonna need to. It's been a while. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you.
Left you.
Y'all taking these slugs tonight. Football season is almost here. I feel it in there.
Yeah, we're here. Jeez, 24-4.
Yeah, Florida was rocking last night.
LSU took it personally. Yeah, I don't blame y'all. Y'all got
hit the grand slam yesterday. He hit the grand slam. It's their first grand slam in College World Series final history, I believe. And that's
we spent all our runs up last night, apparently.
24-4, man. That's that Tiger Pack.
That's that Los Angeles Angel vibe right there. You see what they did?
Yeah, they did it. They went crazy too.
But man,
so who we got going?
Got 3 good topics for everybody tonight. Hang in with us. Shout out again to my man Bobby. He always supporting the brand. Appreciate you unequivocally. So first thing tonight on, actually, yeah, well, we'll say that later. But you know, it's a play call sheet all season edition. You know, just doing this damn thing. But we're gonna start it off a little somber, but it's got a good ending to it.
Absolutely, we're gonna start it here, but it all relates to football, and actually we'll get into it. You know, where people could, you can comment anything, but it's kind of like a segue I'm gonna go through as well. So you know, it should be interesting. As we know, Geno Smith, you know, still riding it out in the National Football League. You know, the Seahawks top man right now. But if you've been deep in the Geno Smith archives, man, he was a quarterback at West Virginia. West Virginia had one probably the best college years for any team not in the SEC, Big 12, you know, Big 10, you know, and that so-called, man. And every quarterback for the most part has that go-to guy that you go to. Geno Smith's was Stephen Bailey's guy. You know, head to Lockham College, you know what I'm saying? Stephen Bailey, his last season in West Virginia, along with Geno. These guys were just nominated for just about every accolade in the league. Geno was drafted by the Jets. Stephen drafted later on in the draft by the St. Louis Rams, who now are the Los Angeles Rams. Geno feels like he didn't get a fair shake along the line. You know, though he posted 114 receptions for almost 1,700 yards and 25 touchdowns, played with him in high school as well, so he's definitely buddy with him. But getting to the story of Bailey's career, we know where Geno's is. Couple years with the Rams and was ended short. You know, he was a third-round pick in 2013. 2015, November-ish, Bailey and three of his family members were victims of a drive-by shooting in Florida. Bailey miraculously survived 2 gunshot wounds to the head, but will never suit up in the NFL again. Hey. Now, you know, as Geno enters another season, it's another thing that's on his mind, always on his mind, a forever brother, who he feels would have made and stomped footprints all over the NFL if he was able to be active and productive. Now, the reason why we bring this up tonight is because Geno, you know, has been shouting this boy out. You know what I'm saying? You know, reminiscing. You know, we reminisce. You know, we played sports, rather be high school, college, you know, semi-pro. You know what I'm saying? We got some pro guys, you know, in the group. So, you know, you always remember some of those days from your great days when you was the guy. Bailey would have still balled, no doubt, Geno wrote on Twitter in response to a fan praising his old pal. Bailey, though, seems to have moved on happily. Bailey states today, I got my wife, my son, and right now we're expected. Told Athletics in September, I am a really good place, and I'm thankful and grateful to be alive. Now, we have plenty, especially we from every neighborhood, just about every neighborhood around. Shout out to everybody tuning in. We have those guys that, you know, could have made it, you know, made the league, cut short for certain reasons. We know athletes and admire athletes, you know, like, for instance, you know, Sean Taylor, who unfortunately didn't make it, you know, in his tragic incident. So, fellas, what athlete comes to mind to you? It could be a career cut short by something happening and tragic in the streets, or just, you know, personally, you know, we crack some athletes sometimes, like NBA players like Greg Oden and such, you know, for not being available, injuries and all that. But it's from an all-circle standpoint, because I feel like that all reaching the same, though the circumstances are different. And it's tragic that Bailey's not able to, you know, play the game that he fell in love with because of something dumb and crazy.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest standout one is right in y'all division.
Yep, I know where you're going. That's my number 2.
That man Sean Taylor, man, like that was probably in my era of sports the biggest loss we took of a player in terms of right at the peak of their career, like not even hitting the potential yet, like the full potential yet. Like I don't think he hit his prime yet. He was that good already. and just played like his hair was on fire too. So it wasn't just that he was great and talented. He seemed to love the game and learning it and playing to the best of his ability. So yeah, Sean Taylor's probably the one that comes most to mind for me. Sucks that we lost him. Now that, I mean, he was one of my favorite players to watch. Almost no safeties ever do I even put near the level of Ed Reed for me. That's just my guy, always has been. But Sean Taylor was like right there, and it was fun that Ed Reed loved him like that too. Ed Reed was like, "Yeah, that's my guy. Like he's a killer out here." It was just a fun guy to watch, man. And I just would have loved to have seen how his career unfolded moving forward. My man was lighting people up in Pro Bowl games, man. Like
Blew up that corner.
he killed that dude, man.
Crazy. You think of guys on the list as well. I mean, list of guys. Derek Thomas, Chris Henry.
Yeah.
You know, think guys like Corey Stringer, Chuck Hughes. Just think of players in general. You know, we speak on football tonight because this is the platform, you know, for off-season football talk. But in sports like this too, in football, and this incident with Bailey wasn't even on the field. You know, it's a lot of on the field things that happen, but off the field, you know, that trying to survive through the trenches and you have to go live your daily life on top of you're a professional athlete. So at times it's 2 or 3 times more eyes on you than the human person or a regular person or whatever you want, you know, label the people that are below you. I don't know. But
another one that comes to mind is Len Bias. That's before my time,
yes.
But that's right here at home. And yeah, I mean, even Reggie Lewis, you know, Len Bias and Reggie Lewis. Can you imagine like how the Celtics? I mean, we still tied with the Lakers right now for the most championships. What would it have been like with Len and Reggie Lewis staying around? We'll never know, but that's crazy. Just some great players that we lost, some great athletes. Who else was I don't know what stage of his career was Ray Caruth in that whole situation.
Ray Caruth.
When he
yeah.
When he hired the hitman.
Yeah. Then you got Bison Dele, aka Brian Williams. I told you about that story.
Yeah.
Pat Tillman.
Pat Tillman.
Pat Tillman, man, like a bunch of athletes that, you know, into this use. But, you know, you have, and this is the best thing about being an athlete or just being a person in general. And we talked a little bit, you know, before we came on air, and we talked about, you know, kind of situation, but, you know, different situation. But in terms of the guys that, you know, love you and support you, and you have those memories of, you know, rather you can't play on the field no more, rather you're not here no more, you know, you got people that's going to speak good on you, you know what I'm saying, and all the good times you had, and, you know, reminisce and, you know, make sure that person's happy and able to just continue life. I mean, now, you know, definitely as an athlete, a million people, you know, try out, and a million people don't make leagues. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some leagues, you know, under 1,000 players, you know, so
most leagues, yeah.
So it's definitely terrible, man. You know what he could have been, because we seen that West Virginia team. Now, maybe, you know, because of their, you know, their likeness and where they was placed in the Big East. Big East is pretty competitive then, you know. So no telling what he could have done with the potential, you know, being to play more years.
I actually didn't know this happened to him. Or maybe I didn't, just forgot about that. But I didn't realize. Yeah,
it definitely happened. But that season, Geno felt like he was robbed of the prestige best wide receiver in the nation trophy.
Yeah.
And, you know, it kind of threw the stock down. But, you know, we know why his stock was dropped. We know why people's stocks are dropped now in certain colleges, because you have these major conferences, you know, dominating. And those guys are going to be up there, regardless of the case. So that's why. But you kind of look at the game now and the way the game is, he definitely would have fit in.
What up?
You kind of see the styles going into the offense that West Virginia was kind of running.
Yeah, a lot more slinging, running, and gunning. Yeah.
What's going on, Unc? What's going on with you? Dale, man. Them LSU Tigers, man. Damn, man. Another chip. Another chip. What's going on?
I also think about guys with the injuries, like Ryan Shazier. Like, that was crazy. Just I watched that like live, and we were just like, everybody was just like, oh shit, we hope he's all right. And my man, I mean, it was a blessing to see him walk again and all, but yeah, he can't play football no more. That was tough. Because that kid was special at Ohio State.
He was. I actually had one of my roommates from college. He actually coached him in Little League.
Yeah.
He said he was a special kid then. I guess at that time, his dad was in the military, and they were stationed right outside of Waco.
Okay.
And said he was a beast then. He had to tell him, he had to actually ask him to taper it down some because he was hurting kids.
Sounds about right.
Special. Yeah. For me, I think some of the ones, not because of injury, I think we was robbed of Barry Sanders. Final year. Obviously Megatron falls right in that same category. And probably not to be a homer, I actually wanted to see, even though Arrington put my man out pretty much, to see if what the second chapter of Troy Aikman's career would have been. With playing and stuff, cause that's why they went out and gambled and got the Joey Galloways and players like that, because they thought Aikman had more time, and he did. Another one that I actually like as well is what's the guy's name? Sterling Sharp.
Yep, Sterling Sharp.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, he just didn't. Yeah.
They said that he was next. They said he was next up, man. After that guy that had to stick him on his gloves. Sorry, man. The Sox had to go Jerry Rice. I want to give a shout out to Dale as well, man. BS and Bid, man. Shout out to those guys, man. You know, beloved Saint fan over here, man. Shout out to him, man. Tune in.
So Dale always wanted the better back. I see why he would do that.
Another one y'all probably don't remember, and this is a little homer in me. Barry Foster.
I do not know his name.
Yeah, I played at Arkansas.
Did they have helmets when he played? I'm kidding.
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, he came around. His career was only 5 years, from 90 to 90. So, but at that time, you had Barry, Emmett, and Thurman. Then Barry Foster showed up and kind of disrupted it a little bit. He actually got in 92. He got to make the Pro Bowl in 92 and 93. And he was named Offensive Player of the Year for the AFC in 93. 62 games, 3,943 rushing yards, 915 carries, 26 touchdowns, an average of 4.3 yards per carry. And he caught another 93 passes for 804 yards.
Yeah, the kid had talent for sure. Did he get injured out or?
He got hurt. He got hurt, and they cut him. And I think he tried to play one more year with Carolina, but he was gone. He was done by then. TD. I think we lost him too early. Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
He did damage. He did damage while he was there.
He did.
Oh, I'm gonna take y'all back.
That was that line that just made everybody nice, but he was nice in it too. He was even great. Who else? Who's gonna say?
Gale Sayers.
Yeah, I didn't know that Gale got cut short. I didn't realize that. I just see I remember just all the footage of him killing. So
the Kansas coming, he did his damn thing, man. Bo Jackson.
Yeah, Bo. Yeah.
Bo as well, man. And we hitting football season too, man. And it's one thing you pay attention to in training camp is, saying the temperatures and, saying the players hydrating and stuff like that. I'm looking at an injury. Corey Stringer, and not an injury, a death, in August 2001, died from a sternal heat stroke during a stiffly hot training camp practice.
Yeah, I remember that story when that happened, and I remember the coaching staff getting flack for that, and then I don't know if anybody got fired though, but
it's crazy. Got a lot of flack off that. And then we're dealing with an issue now that was life and death last year. And he's returning on the field, and the more Hamlin.
Yeah.
So this is where the dice kind of get shaky if you roll them.
Yeah.
And we hope the best for him. We hope the best for him. We all do.
Yeah, this is it's a little different. It's definitely different circumstances, but also, I mean, look, you got to let the man play if he wants to play.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not even gonna go on that no more because he's an athlete. He knows his body, this and that, whatever the case is. At the end of the day, I'm just more on it for the backlash if something does happen. Because we're gonna hear regardless. The USA's the world. This is what happens every day. But shit. I got kids. I got a family, all that myself, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that though you're professional athletes, you're trained at times to be so much of a warrior, you know what I'm saying, a man, that sometimes you not playing is not an opinion.
He's a brave brother if he even lacing him back up. Honestly.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and you got family members every Sunday that have to go through. Who knows in this family who's gotten over this? Friends who's gotten over this? People that may be telling like, "Yo, you tripping," things of that nature.
My man died on the field, bro. He's lacing him back up to go back out there. That's crazy. It wasn't
fair of the year.
Yeah, he's gonna get that easy. All you gotta do, stay alive.
It's gonna be like I said a couple weeks ago, it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough unless he come out there with iron lungs and all that like Superman. It's gonna be tough. Yeah. Unless they're just giving out the award for that like that, but usually, though that's a crazy, thing to come from, man. You gotta have some stats behind that shit. That's how
3 tackles a game, he'll get it. That's all you gotta do. Lace up for 3 tackles a game, he'll get that shit.
Yep, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, died. That's crazy.
The 20-something mind of a man. I'm invincible, definitely.
Yeah.
You're gonna live forever at that age.
Definitely, man. God bless him, man. Season's coming up soon, man, and there's already trouble in Buffalo. That's the thing, too. All the circle around. There's trouble in Buffalo already.
Yeah, they might
And this is not the only thing.
They might trade Diggs, bro. I did not think that was gonna go that route, but it seems like it's a possibility.
It's like it's just dragging on.
Yeah, I don't know what his problem is though. He needs to relax.
To Josh, like, who do you really want to go to? Like, after this, what QB is really gonna rely on you if for a game you don't get no passes and then you're mad? Like, at the end of the day, like, who's gonna go to that? Who's gonna win the battle? The QB is gonna win the battle.
I don't know if Diggs wants more money. I think he just wants the ball more, which is shocking because he already gets mad touches. Like he's leading since he's been in the league. He's got to be top 5 in touches or attempts. So I don't know really what he wants, but they're gonna throw money at him probably to try to make the.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because a lot of these receivers are coming up on an extension soon, and we'll get into a little chat in that later. But it's definitely, smelling like he sees these receivers go make money, and he just wants a little bit extra on the top.
Well, he's counting 14.8 this year on the cap.
Yeah.
If he's moved, he's a $45.4 million cap hit of dead money.
So he got to be an absolute asshole for them to move him, which may be why he's doing what he's doing.
And the potential out for them, where it's only a $22.2 million cap hit.
Yeah,
and that's not 2025.
Lord, this is really early in that big contract for him to be complaining.
4 years, $96 million was the contract.
I don't know what his problem is. It's not like he's not Allen's favorite guy to throw to, and it just they had one blowout and he went nuts.
Maybe it's too much Josh Allen, he's saying, and he's speaking on that as the second best player on the team because probably he's not the only person that's speaking on the locker room. Maybe, I don't know.
No, you could be right, but even if it is too much Allen,
why?
The only way to make it more Diggs is more Allen. That's how that shit works. He's a quarterback. Like he has to throw it to you, stupid. I don't know. I mean, unless the only way I can see it'd be admirable if he was this mad and he was like, we need to run the ball more. If that's what he's saying, then he's a genius, and we should all appreciate his passion. But that's not what the fuck he's saying. He's probably just wanting the ball more or want more money. Neither of those two things are going to make this team any better. So he needs to chill out.
I'm trying to look to see some of his
maybe not Dale
this year. He picked up the kid from Utah, didn't he? At tight end.
Oh yeah, Dalton Kincaid, is that it?
Yeah. So you got Dalton Kincaid, you got Dawson Knox. So you probably running the 2 tight end set. Then
which tells me they want to run more,
right? But then you got who was the slot receiver they had there last year?
That Gabe there.
They had your guy at one point. Beasley was in there, but I don't think he was the starter slot.
I wasn't starter slot. Wasn't it Brown? No. Let me check.
Who was their starter slot?
It's showing a couple of guys that I'm not too familiar with. Some younger guys. Obviously, Gabe Davis is still there, but behind them, too much of nothing. Not to discount what those young men do, but
yeah,
right now, Khalil Shakir is the third wide receiver as of right now.
Who is it?
Khalil Shakir.
Oh yeah, little speedy dude.
Yeah, come on, Boise State.
It may be more money. Now you got to be a teacher. Now this is what the problem is. Diggs wants more money. Diggs is upset. He's not getting touched. And there's new people coming in. Now you got to be a teacher and teach these young receivers the game. I get it now. Diggs is overly upset at a lot of things. His mind is going on a spin bill because he feels that this window is closing. Perhaps.
Right. Yeah, they got Sherfield there too, but
Fraser's taking D off the Buffalo defense. I mean, like I said, they're gonna have to definitely come play this year. I mean, they'll be a lot more healthy than it was last year, but ultimately they will have say-so in some games as well. How they will fare? I'll say they'd be even killed. I don't really know.
Isaiah McKenzie. That's what it was.
Yeah, McKenzie.
He's still there.
Did he? No, he's gone.
He's gone.
Is he?
He's gone.
Is KC?
It sounds like them, but I don't know. Let me see.
I think he is.
Where'd he go? He went to
the Colts.
The Colts? Is that? Yeah, he's on the Colts. Yep. Fascinating. They got a nice little receiving core themselves.
They've been looking for a slot for a grip. More of the story. They've been looking for a slot for a grip. This was a problem. This was a problem last year going into training camp. And that's why they brought Beasley back.
Yeah, that might be an issue, but at the same time, like, the real problem is you don't run enough.
No, that too, but
y'all keep trying to patch the wrong problem with the wrong Band-Aid. Like, y'all keep trying to patch a problem that is running with more receivers. The issue is you're dropping them back too much, and he's running a lot because of that. Creating turnovers. He got to stop. Run the ball.
I would say Bobby over or underrated as years go, and people still feel like they can win the AFC, and we see how this team is developing. It's more overrated than underrated to me.
Y'all know me. The last 2 years I've been on that Buffalo bandwagon. I'm officially off. Hello, Detroit.
I'm gonna just say properly rated because they're rated as a team that's gonna go far, which they will every year. But what's far? Like into the playoffs? Yeah, I think they can go to the playoffs. They could probably get out of round one, and that's about where they end because they just can't get over the hump. I don't think. I mean, look, I'll go with overrated if people are gonna say that they're going to the Super Bowl every year. Yeah, those guys are wrong. Those people are wrong. They're not going to the bowl. Not playing like this. Not without a running game. You're not gonna get there. You gotta have some kind of running game.
third or fourth best. In
Yeah,
the AFC.
exactly. So if that's where the average person is rating them third or fourth best in the AFC, no, they're probably rated then. If that's the case,
Buffalo is overrated. Shout out to my man Daryl, man. Shout out to Emilio. I prefer the Jets. They have a better upside.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, but they also have a similar issue in that their quarterback will choke when it matters sometimes. So
give him a cigar. He about to go ham.
Does Buffalo win the division? No, I think good. Keep trolling. I think Miami wins that division, our division. And I think we fuck around and get DeAndre Hopkins. We could shock the world, but we'll see. It's still on Mac's shoulders, so I'm skeptical at best.
Oh, the Jet. Oh, so they finally said the Jets gonna be on Hard Knocks.
Looks like a question. I don't know if he's.
I mean, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I would. If I'm the Jets, I would. If the Jets are on, but I heard as of 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, there was no, and it's crazy. There was no internal team announced.
It just announced it today.
The Jets?
Yeah, it is the Jets.
Oh my
is,
God!
yeah.
The Aaron wants to be on television.
Aaron loves attention. We all knew that. Aaron loves attention.
Oh,
According to NBC Sports, they are bracing for an involuntary Hard Knocks assignment.
Oh, it's about to be real. This might be the best Hard Knocks. This might be the best Hard Knocks ever made.
Because they didn't want to do it.
They didn't want to do the. Oh wait, the Jets didn't want to do it, or like who didn't want to do it?
The Jets didn't want to do it. The NFL was making them do it.
Fascinating.
Nope, because the NFL knows that money's there. Even if they lose, even if they don't do nothing this season, they know this front money is the best money they're gonna get. That's the best thing about trades going down for a guy that you still know and will still think has dreams and still thinks can do things is that the front money's gonna sell all day. You see players get contracts, the money's in front. That's the best money. Because regardless if they lose or not, you may lose some, but you already gained some. Gained a lot. So this right here is going to gain the Jets a whole lot of money. Even if they end the season 4-14, 4-13. This right here might be the best Hard Knocks made ever.
Now I really hope he's on acid during the game in the series. That'd be great.
So according to NBC Sports, it says per league sources, the Jets are bracing for a preseason Hard Knocks assignment, despite making known publicly and privately the lack of interest in serving as the focal point of this year's show. The Jets, Saints, Bears, and Commanders fit the criteria for being required to do the show in 2023 under a formula developed several years ago. The teams that can be compelled to do it include those without a new head coach, those who have not been to the playoffs in either of the last 2 years, and those that have not been subject of the show for the last 10 years. Saints! But the Jets and Bears have made it clear.
Why would they waste their money with the Saints?
Why? Exactly.
The Commanders would if assigned, but the league said they prefer to wait until after the sale of the team is finalized.
Yeah, aka they don't got a quarterback. Nobody want to watch that shit.
Nah. We love y'all Saints.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Some NFL news.
I know Saints fans I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's a handful of y'all that are decent people.
And some of y'all act like they got a whole bunch of Lombardi's in the case.
They're going to tell them anything after tonight, after they win the College World Series, they're going to be undefeated again.
14-3, man.
14-3, yeah.
They might, though. That vision look kind of bad.
Who's going to be the in-season Hard Knocks team? Is it in-season Hard Knocks?
Yep. I think last year was Arizona.
Well, that show's doing great. None of us knew.
Yeah, definitely. The Rams possibly, or the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers.
Why, you want to watch the dinosaurs die? Like, that's mean.
I mean, we don't watch it, so we'll let Baker get TV time and we ain't watching.
It's like watching the asteroid come in to kill the dinosaurs.
Go for grass, man. Glad to know, man. Hopefully, Daryl keep us updated. We'll stay updated on that because honestly, I totally forgot there was in-season Hard Knocks. I thought that shit was until like 5 years ago.
Right?
Great.
Buccaneers are the Temptations without Ruffin.
I would like to see the Temptations without Ruffin.
None of them watch that.
Just to laugh.
Nah, the only way that's interesting is if Ruffin comes and snatches the mic back. Brady got to come back. Like
Brady might come back and say, "Sight."
Okay, here we go. So it looks like Washington is going to be the end season. Because it says when I was talking about them waiting to be assigned, they want to wait till after the team is finalized. And the Commanders could be this year's end season option.
Ugh. Yeah.
Washington, what the fuck?
Yeah. Count me out.
Bobby says 6-11. You know what, Bobby? Salute to you, man.
Yeah, dream. Yeah, you know.
I think that's possible this year. I think 6-11 is possible.
I'm gonna say 7 and 10.
Why you giving them hope? Don't do that.
Cause man, have you seen what's down in Tampa Bay?
It's the same team, just with Baker, isn't it?
That ain't the same.
Hold on. Who's picking Goodwin or Mike Evans, dog, at any point in the fantasy drafts this season?
I'm surprised Mike ain't demanding a trade.
So it might be coming.
Yeah, that's a valid point, Dale. They're gonna use that for pub. We got the old dude up out of here that was trash, and now we're turning the organization around. I'm sorry, man.
How do you do it in season hard knocks on a team that can't get their name like a trade?
I heard they're about to change it again.
Yeah, because they don't
have to. They can't trademark Commanders. They just selling jerseys at this point. That's crazy.
Selling them fake replicas.
For real. What are they going to change the name to from the Commanders?
This is about to be what, the fourth change in 5 years?
Well, it was Redskins, then it was the football team, then it was Commanders, yeah. And then it's going to be, who knows, this.
It's going to be like the Red Arrows or something.
The who gives a fucks? It's rough. It's rough. Rough in Washington.
Y'all ready for the first break for the night, gents?
Yeah. We do that. Washington football team wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. They should just left it like that.
It kind of, but the problem with that name was it kind of made me want to just. It wanted me to feel like every team should be named just there like that, like the New England football team. Like just name them all like that.
Like a off-brand game that can't get no rights.
Like you can't get no rights. Yeah, no licensing. No licensing at all. No NIL for you motherfuckers.
Well, we're going to take our first break for the night, gents. As I always say, we'll be back by 15-20. Hold on to your butts.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's cornerback Delvin Breaux here from your favorite team, New Orleans Saints. I just want to go ahead on and give a shout out to STWF Media for allowing me to come on and talk about my testimony, my story, and also talk fantasy football. I just want to say thank you, man, for the honor. I appreciate you, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tonight at 7:30 Central Time. Bro Show out.
Coach think he's slick.
Touchdown! You like that?
Like that, no.
Coach think he's slick playing the Saints commercial after all that Saints talk.
Hey, man. They know we champions over here. They know we champions over here. That's why they roll with us.
Okay, folks. So we're gonna mix it up a little bit this week. We ain't gonna have Coach doing all the lifting for the running the show. We're gonna take turns, man. So my topic this week was coming into a new season, man. And every season you get guys who, like, last year I would say as an example of what we're talking about is like the Detroit Lions, which they out of nowhere that offense just became one of the premier offenses in the league. Now they couldn't stop a nosebleed, but offensively they burst onto the scene. And every year you kind of get some teams who either get over that hump of a part of the ball that they lacked before, or they improve upon an already decent part of their football team and make it like the dominant part of their football team. And that's what we're going to focus on today. We got the 4 teams offensively and defensively that will make the biggest jump this fall. And I can pull it up for y'all. I want to see if y'all can even read it when I pull it up. Doobie-doo. Let's see how this goes. How's that looking? Can y'all see that? Or is it just a bunch of it's teeny tiny. So we're gonna get up out of there.
I can see the team name.
We're gonna get up out of there. I'm just gonna read it to you folks. We're gonna read and react. All right. So the first one we got was last year's 3-14, got the first overall pick and traded it. The Chicago Bears. Shout out to my guy Mike. The Bears. Shout out to my guy Mike. Rest in peace. This was his favorite team. So I'm glad this is the first team that came up. Justin Fields flashed electric ability last year, but the Bears spent the offseason upgrading the offense. The 24-year-old needs to emerge as a true franchise quarterback in year 3. Chicago gave Fields a serious vote of confidence by trading away that number 1 pick in April's draft. And in doing so, the Bears also gave their young field general a true number 1 receiver in DJ Moore. I did like that move. I thought that was a high price for that move, but he is a legitimate number 1 receiver. I think that'll be great for them. That's not the only notable veteran addition either, as GM Ryan Poles also boosted the offensive line with offensive guard Nate Davis, tight end possession with Robert Tonyan, and backfield with Dante Foreman in free agency. In the draft, the Bears grabbed a premier people mover in round 1, offensive tackle Darnell Wright, and then added a couple more enticing playmakers in round 4 with Roschon Johnson and wide receiver Tyler Scott. All of that gives Fields a far deeper and more imposing supporting cast than he enjoyed last season. Consequently, I expect the former number 11th overall pick to take a big step in his development as a dual threat playmaker. The Bears offense has enough weaponry to produce fireworks against all defenses ill-equipped to defend a balanced attack with explosive potential. I do want to see. They got a little. They got a little video here. Let me see if they'll let me play it, because some of these videos don't work when you throw it on like this. But let's see what happens.
See, we're going to answer these questions in a bit. Definitely. Keep them coming.
We got questions?
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm looking at the screen. Y'all got to address the questions.
Dale asks, can Fields take the leads that Hurts did? I mean, all it takes is a season of great football, great all-around play from your team. If that's the case, then, I mean, he could take the leap that Hurts did, you know? People are still saying that Hurts really didn't. I mean, he did some things, but they said that, you know, his team, it was strong enough for him to help him out. But at the same time, every football team gets that. With Jalen Hurts, I mean, with Fields, it's kind of like we've seen the bad. We've seen the bad and the ugly. We want to see the good with him. We have not.
Woo-hoo.
I'm rooting for the Bears this season. Of the structure is why I want to root for the Pistons in basketball, but that's not going to happen.
I mean, we've seen some good. We've seen some solid play from Fields. The problem is that Fields hasn't had anything around him.
But at the same time, this is what I'm saying. This year, it could be like, oh snap, we're getting stuff around. They're trying to sell tickets with this new and improved Bears team, but not saying that every team improved, but every team tried to improve. So how is it really going to work? Because there's no more to be. There may be some more excuses, but in the quarterback kingdom, there's not a lot of time, and there may not be a lot of excuses left. So he has to this year say, man, some plays like F it. This is me. And then hopefully those offensive plays that they got along with the new teammates, hopefully they all work and they do something.
Man,
this is like a death right here.
If Kirk Cousins still a quarterback, man,
Kirk different. Kirk different.
Season, and
Kirk's in a different bracket.
I'm going to pick the Bears to lose week 1.
I just want to see what this video is about right quick.
Packers? No way. win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, they're going
The
over
Bears
their
have actually
schedule.
Played really well over the last number of years.
Let's see if we
Matt
agree with these
Nagy,
picks.
offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. No, I got
That's
to
a
be
loss.
somewhat realistic, even though I will go with wins here. Win in a revenge game against the Commanders. Remember last year, that Thursday night game, losing to Carson Wentz?
This is
Still
fascinating.
Sticks in the craw of Bears fans everywhere. But wins over the Vikings, over the Las Vegas Raiders, then coming to SoFi Stadium, where I will be representing there. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the Chargers the win there. The Saints are a pretty
What?
good team. Derek Carr's down there as the quarterback, but wins over the Carolina Panthers. I know everybody loves the Lions this year. Give me a win there.
Yeah, Biz.
Getting a loss before the bye week. And
Yeah,
then,
Adam.
It's always a struggle.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be watching no more of these videos.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
a loss
Adam.
there, but a win over the Cleveland Browns. Matt Eberflus knows what to
Man's
do.
supposed to make
Gotta
a play
handle
on
Deshaun
him.
Watson. And look
Oh,
at
He got him at 9-5 right now.
Wins over the Cardinals.
I'm not mad at it.
Oh, this dude just went crazy. He went crazy.
That's right. I might
Hell
be
no.
biased.
Get
I'm
out of
one-sided, but I
here. He
have the
went
Bears with
bananas.
12 wins.
Yeah,
this year.
go somewhere. That dude went nuts.
Adam Craig. Hey, yo.
Yo, I'm glad we watched that just because that man went bananas just now. What is he thinking? Yeah, this dude is definitely wild. Holy shit. All right, well, you know what? That's a little synopsis on the Bears. That's already too much
Oh,
Bears
a
talk,
safe
but-
fan saying that? And what a safe fan saying 12 I mean, you're realistic, Bobby. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and all. Damn.
Yeah, that's a
I
wild.
thought I was crazy.
You are, but that was crazy. Yeah. All right, so all right, the number 2 team on this list. I think is this offenses or still defenses? I think it's still offenses. Denver Broncos. We got the Denver Broncos. Last year they were 5-12. Shockingly, to some, not to others. Their scoring offense was 32nd. I can't believe that. Total offense was 21st. Sean Payton's arrival should stabilize an offense that was staggering. That was a staggering disappointment under his predecessor. One and done head coach Nathaniel Hackett. He couldn't hack it, man. That's just what it was. Payton has directed some of the league's top offenses over the past 2 decades, utilizing a variety of concepts of personnel groupings to create mismatches all over the field. As a masterful play designer with ample experience coaching the most out of an aging quarterback, Payton can alleviate Russell Wilson's issues through clever scheming and superb game management. Moreover, the veteran play caller may maximize a supporting cast with promising potential, thus eliminating the need for the 34-year-old quarterback to play like a one-man show. As the Broncos embrace a more balanced approach to the ground attack, with the ground attack featured prominently in the game plan, the Super Bowl winning head coach immediate imprint on the unit could help Denver reemerge as a playoff contender this season. So as I expected, they made it all about the coach. It's all about Payton, which I guess we should have expected that because, I don't know what else they've changed. I mean, they had offensive pieces already, correct? Like they had guys to throw to. He just wasn't finding them. So what do y'all think about that team?
I just think last year, honestly, like you can say, the difference is the coach. I mean, if they win games this season and are better than last season, I mean, they got a new coach. They're going to say it's the coach. But ultimately, I just feel like it was just bad luck last year on behalf of that. I mean, I'm not done. I don't want to say that, we've seen the downfall of Russ for the future. I don't want to say that. So, I mean, like Bobby said in the beginning in his comment, this makes sense for Denver to be on here because, like you said, they have the ingredients to make a good pie. But what are you putting in less than you're supposed to? And that's the question there. We're going to find that out this season. Was Russell Wilson the right move for Denver? You're going to find a lot of things.
I think what happened last year, I don't know if it was bad. For me, I won't say bad luck. For me, what I'll say is Russ was really drinking his own Kool-Aid, really into that let Russ cook shit. And then when he finally was ready, like there to cook,
my man made hot dog water. Like that's the problem. So I
wouldn't even say that, Will.
Running game was hurt. Javonte definitely was out the ACL.
He made weenie soup.
Yeah, it was bad. It's bad. It's all bad. And I think he got humbled a bit. I like that the first thing Peyton did was come in and be like, yo, that your own little office shit. Like, nah, beat it. I like that he cut that off and he made him go sit with the team, go or deal with your coaches and the coaches we got here and all that stuff. Like, I like that he nipped that in the butt, and I think that
I don't think it's a video, B.
This is gonna help them. Nah, they don't get it. Nah, them bumps don't get a video. All right, the next team we got last year, 7-10. They started off hot, but it did not finish that way. 7-10 New York Jets. Their scoring offense was 29th. Total offense was 25th. Jets. So if the last one, as we expected, was going to be all about the coach, well, then I think you know where this one's going. The Aaron Rodgers experience may or may not result in a Super Bowl appearance, but you can be sure of one thing. The presence of the 4-time MVP will accelerate the development of New York's young core while adding structure and organization to an offense that was in flux a season ago. As a meticulous competitor with a distinguished resume, Rodgers will set a championship standard for the unit and teach Jets players and coaches how to perform at that level. With Rodgers, he's going to teach people that? All right, I guess so. How to perform. with Rodgers demanding more attention to detail, New York offensive output will improve as Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Elijah Vera Tucker, and Laken Tomlinson team up with the quarterbacks, guys Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, and Billy Turner to create a much improved unit that could spark a run at the division crown and more. If the new offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett, we just talked about him bumming it somewhere else. Okay. Can handle game management duties without a hitch, the Jets offense should flourish with a gold jacket player at the helm.
Hey, and like we said about Russell, I'm going to give Hackett, he's not the head coach no more. So this is a different circumstance, and he's done work with Aaron Rodgers. So maybe this was after the second half of the season a ploy that he was going to leave to go wherever Aaron was going. Just figuring out. So basically, he gave up on the season. Hey, I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers than Russell Wilson. And I'd rather be on the head of the coaches and the staff than be the head coach, man. Maybe he just gave it up.
And that has been your most recent edition of Conspiracy Theories with Two.
Yeah. Shout out to my man Kwan. It will be a Super Bowl, just not the bowl you think. And as well, shout out to my man. Shout out to William Ferris, man.
He said a Super Bowl. You're stupid. Hackett was a good OC with Aaron. Aaron just a little, just trashes it. Yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong at all.
Just Hard Knock edition. The lights are on them now. The lights are all on them. You know, New York Giants are looking at the Jets like, damn, we were the team that made the playoffs last year, and they're getting all the love. Well, you had the chance to sign Aaron, but you wanted Daniel. You wanted Daniel Jones still. So hold that bid. Potentially.
I feel like he wouldn't have gone there though. They had no receivers when they started trying to sign him. Yeah, that'd have been funny though if he chose there. Like that'd have been a slap in the Jets' face if he chose the Giants over the Jets when they had no one to throw to. That shit is hilarious. All right, and this fourth team for the offensive side of the ball is a fascinating team for me. I didn't expect them to be on this list, but last year they were the 9-8 team with their scoring offense was 26th and the total offense was 23rd. That would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. As
CeeLo Daddy, gonna get a ring with you.
Let's go today. Sorry about that.
As Kenny Pickett settles into his role as QB1 following a solid if unspectacular rookie campaign, Pittsburgh's offense should take a significant leap forward. I mean, they'd have to because it wasn't great. Flanked by a well-rounded skill position group that includes Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Allen Robinson, Pat Freiermuth, and Najee Harris. Pickett should play with more confidence and command in year 2. Consequently, the Steelers have the potential to attack with an aerial circus that creates and exploits mismatches. Also, the team's continued upgrading of the offensive line, see free agent Isaac Siamalo and first-round pick Broderick Jones, as well as the third-round selection of mammoth tight end Darnell Washington, will enable offensive coordinator Matt Canada to lean on a punishing rushing attack that overpowers opponents. Considering the quarterback's expected improvement and upgraded personnel around him, the Steelers are poised to make a surge in production that should enable them to compete for a playoff spot once again in 2023. I think that a lot of that excerpt right there is ambitious, I would say at the very least. Pickett has to show a lot. He has to make some improvements for them to sniff what they want to be. They got the guys, though. I do agree with the weapons. How do you guys feel about the Steelers?
Mr. Coach.
What was that?
Oh
yeah.
So for me, I don't know if I think Pickett, he flashed every now and then. Obviously, he wasn't very consistent.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of him and Pickens getting some chemistry with one another.
Agreed.
I don't know about the whole Allen Robinson aspect of it. We shall see. And I feel like this is the first time in a while that we had an Alabama running back in Najee Harris that actually I think got something to go. Well, obviously King Henry, but there's more flops than there have been successes. Alabama.
They send so many of them that yes, they're gonna miss a lot.
So I guess for me, my biggest question is, I think it all is going to be like it was during the season. It's going to come down to Tomlin getting his team up, coaching them up.
Yeah.
Because right now, from a pure talent perspective, obviously, they got a couple of pieces on defense, but other than that, I see no wow factor there.
Pickens is wild for me, but that's about it. Pickens is wild, and that requires Pickett to find them.
Right.
So, Pickett has to make a jump this year, for sure. Now, it's only his second season starting, so he'll get some leadway for sure. But they got to. What was that?
They had the 32nd total defense last year. When was the last time we ever saw a Steelers defense that low?
Yeah, that's not good. It's not good.
Playing up and out the line too. Pittsburgh,
they had some injuries too, didn't they? Was Watt out? Watt was out some time.
Watt missed some time. Fitzpatrick missed some time. But this team, it's going to be the QB. It's definitely going to be the QB because if the Pittsburgh got a QB that can function the core offense and the defense is decent, it's going to be a crazy AFC North anyhow. So if they can be any good, people talking about Cincinnati's going to run everybody for their money. Shit, you may want to pay attention. That might be the toughest division in football based on how good everybody may be. Because you're looking at this right now. Deshaun might not be on top of 10 list right now, but let him have a good first month of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then people will be probably shouting back. If Pickett jumps anything, anyway, and Deontay and Pickens can be good, and Allen can just show a shade of himself, Pittsburgh's going to be all right. I mean, and we're not going to set the defense in the North because everybody in the North, AFC-wise, their defense is not that perfect either. So Pittsburgh can be in this. But Mike Tomlin's going to have to, like you said, too, coach. He's going to have to coach them. If he can coach them, all that, they got the mixture. They got the more experienced coach, the more experienced franchise. All they got to do, he got to be Bill Belichick for a year, Mike Tomlin. I don't know if he can do that. If he can, Pittsburgh might be in the race in this division. Who knows? But right now, they're last in the division, and we're going to give them that.
I think we'll find out we're going to find out if Tomlin's message is still getting through to the players in this generation. We're going to find out this year because now he's got like a younger group all around, and if he can't get through to them, they're done. So, it's funny. This comment right, I think Pickett was overdrafted. I know what you mean. It sounds hilarious though. Like he got drafted just the one time, but But I know what you mean. He got drafted too high, I think, and that's because he's from the area. Yeah, he's from the area, and he was good enough.
He's the only quarterback in the first round last year.
Yeah, it's wild.
And they said if he had came out in this year's draft, he'd have been number 5.
Probably, yeah.
Hey, so he knew where the market was. Hey, I ain't mad at him. At least try to get a hump now.
No one's mad at him except for maybe them if he doesn't step up and play.
Pittsburgh took it. Pittsburgh, hey, they play with house money anyway at the QB position.
All right.
Yes.
So that concludes the offensive side of the ball in terms of what teams are stepping up this year. Now we're going to take a trip to the defense. And I love the first team they picked because we all over this team. We've been. I really hope that is that their official song.
That's their official fight song.
No wonder they don't win a goddamn game in the playoffs or anywhere else important. That's a terrible song. That's horrible. Anyway, this is the 9-8 Detroit Lions from last year. Their scoring defense was, let's go. Hell yeah, new fans. I need to get judges home. Hat or something.
I better not come over here with that bull crap.
Says the man who be wearing all types of hats and different things. Shut it up.
Not with the Lions hat.
2022 scoring defense, they were tied for 28th. And total defense was 32nd. So that's not good. The Lions finished last season with the top 5 rankings in total offensive scoring. So everyone expects Ben Johnson's attack to produce again in 2023. But when you pour over the offseason additions on the other side of the ball, you see why Detroit has emerged as a dark horse contender in the NFC. With defensive ends Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston, tackle Aleem McNeil, and safety Kirby Joseph, the Lions already had a promising core young talent. But I love that Brad Holmes added this offseason, particularly in the back end. Hey, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Love that guy. He got underpaid.
For the Eagles last year.
Huge difference maker. Turning the ball over, ball hawk. I don't know why he got underpaid the way he did and why he accepted that deal. He must have really wanted to play here. Cameron Sutton, Emmanuel Mosley, and the second-round pick, Brian Branch, who I really like too, shoring up the secondary. Detroit can eliminate the big plays and force opponents to deal with the front line that features speed, strength, and power. And while some folks question Holmes for using the number 18 pick on an off-ball linebacker, Jack Campbell should provide immediate returns in year 1. As Aaron Glenn's unit builds upon the confidence established in the second half of last season, the Lions defense would spark a run that results in Detroit's first division title since '93. I believe it. And they got the kneecap biter video here, but I ain't gonna play that. We're gonna. What are we thinking? What are we thinking about the line? I mean, I know what you're thinking, Coach. So maybe we need I think I know what Tuke's thinking too. But for the people.
No. Actually, I'm gonna be real with you. Right now.
Here it comes.
They gotta bring. Their spark is gonna be there this season. I'm gonna actually root for the Lions the first couple weeks of the season just to see demise. Of all the people.
The Stephen A. Smith with the Cowboys. Now
I'm just gonna roll them in. I'm gonna roll them in. I had said I seen a commercial last week. I think it's for the opening game. You know, I don't want to see Jared Goff fail, but it'll be interesting to see what this team could do. I like the coach. I like Dan Campbell. They were fun. They were fun last year to watch. This year, you see all these teams in the North kind of is going their own way, maybe different directions, and the Lions may be the only team that may be on a consistent hump right now, though they didn't make the playoffs. Depending on what Kirk Cousins do in the night games, Detroit can win this division, unless Justin Fields is Jalen Hurts. Then the Lions can win. But the defense overall should improve. They got some good pieces over there. And that's what we're talking about right now. Defense. Their offense was smooth last year. Tops. The reason why they lost some games a lot of games worse because of their defense.
They were scoring record amount of points and then giving up record amount of points. So it wasn't really working. Why you feel that, Kawan? Why you think Goff gonna have a down year?
Because that's just the way it's accustomed to be.
Maybe, but I think he turned the corner. I think we saw things last year that he wasn't even doing even before that. And I think he's got a better team this year offensively, even than last year.
But now they can't sneak up on people like they was doing last year.
I mean, they snuck up some, yeah. But at some point, when you're scoring as many points as they are, they stopped sneaking. Teams knew that they weren't defending either. So like nobody was scared of them. Now if their defense is even like a tier better, you got to be careful with the points you give up to them, because they'll run away with a game after a couple stops. They can run away with a game. Yeah, they're losing Jameson to suspension, but they didn't have Jameson for most of the year last year to begin with. So as much as I love Jameson, he didn't really factor into what they were doing last year to start with. And now he'll just be out, I think he got a six-game suspension. Is that what Jameson got?
It's all going to come out on how you can't judge them how they play the champs week 1, but it'll be very interesting to see how they play the champs week 1.
Oh, if they win that game, it's going to be weird in here.
If they win that, everybody in Detroit's going to be like the Reds fans this weekend. They're going to win, yo!
Yeah. If they win that game, it's going to get real weird in
they're going to win it all.
In the parlay podcast world. I'll tell you that right now.
Mary was a tight end from Notre Dame, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they took on what's his name?
Jameer Gibbs too.
Gibbs.
The running back.
And they got Gibbs. A-Chain with the Dolphins. Yeah, they got Jameer Gibbs. That was the pick. That was the head scratching pick of the first round, I believe, for everybody. But I like the kid. I think he just adds he's everything. They basically move Swift and they're gonna place him there. I think he's everything Swift was and more because he's faster.
I think Kawan wants the Bills to win too with me, man. You want to ride with the Biz? You want to ride with the Biz, Kawan?
I'm in a weird spot because now this year I kind of do want to root for the Bears a lot more now.
Oh, I see.
No. Time out. In terms of that division, I still want the Lions to do well because I enjoy that team. But like I said, my man's team was the Bears, so I'm kind of feeling it for my homie. Like that was his team. So
the Bears.
Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting division for me this year.
Definitely. Biz, everybody rapping on the Biz. Hey, take that money on the Biz right now. Now.
Please believe it's not about belief with the Bears. That's not why I like them at all right now. It's just they're my homie's team who passed away. That's it. I just try to hold him down in his memory. So what we got next? Last year, another team that started off pretty well and that didn't go so well, but Miami Dolphins, 9-8. 2022 scoring defense, they were 24th, and their total defense was 18th, which isn't as bad maybe as some of the others on the list. But the arrival of Vic Fangio as the team's new defensive architect should clean up some of the issues that plagued this unit in the past. The grizzled defensive mastermind. Say it again.
Say hell yeah. Fangio gonna have it right.
Absolutely. The grizzled defensive mastermind has a knack for crafting rock-solid game plans that force opponents to play left-handed in critical moments. Fangio's simplicity and attention to detail will eliminate some of the mental issues that held Miami's D back last season. In addition, the chemistry and connection between defensive leader and a bevy of blue-chip players. See Bradley Chubb, Christian Wilkinson, Jalen Phillips, Xavier Howard, and Javon Holland, and Jalen Ramsey should result in a more consistent production from a unit that is as talented as any defense in the league. So
they're the Lions in the AFC. They're the Lions. They're the opposite of what they're the same with what the Lions is. What's the problem? Offense is fire. Offense is firing on cylinders. Then the defenses don't do nothing. So if we rooting for the Lions, you gotta root for the Dolphins too.
Well, yeah, that's another team where I love their receivers, and now they got A-Chain. They're always one play away from scoring from any part of the field, and if they get any kind of defense in there to back that, that's why I said when you guys said, do you think the Jets win or who's going to win? I think Miami's going to win this division this year. I think if they can, I've seen Tua looking all bulked up. Hopefully they can keep him healthy, and I think they're good enough, and they have the offense if their defense gets a little better, yeah.
Tua got to learn how to slip and slide.
Oh, just flat out, just don't get hit, bro. Just throw the ball away. Like at any means necessary. You gotta learn how to fall. He needs to go to that same class Shaq took. You remember that story? Shaq said that how did he stop him getting hurt a lot when he would take all them tumbles? It was because when he was doing his acting gig, he took a class on how to fall.
It is a skill.
It is a skill to know how to do it, and he should fucking learn that shit because it's not. He keeps falling like head. He falls head first into everything. Like I just
after trying to make snow feel.
Yeah, not good. So yeah, how y'all feel about the Dolphins, coach?
I can definitely see them giving the Jets a run for their money for that division. You know what? The Dolphins, the only question mark I have is the obvious quarterback.
Is to it, yeah. Can he stay healthy? Yeah. All right. Check
yeah,
out.
man. Because Miami could have had a lot of other QBs, man, and they rely and they're putting the faith in Tua, and Tua. Real talk, Jared Goff. We just spoke on him. Like Jared Goff. We already know where he is as a QB. You right here, you gotta stay healthy, bro. You gotta get these guys to where they deserve to get to. Last year, if you don't get hurt, we was in the Super Bowl, or we was in the AFC Championship. That one was lost when they lost Tua last year, ultimately, because Buffalo. I feel like they would have got that game in Buffalo if Tua would have played. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how much the game was. That's how much mistakes Josh Allen was making in order for the team to win. They just didn't have a QB. Skyler did what he had to do, but he couldn't do enough. So, yeah, Tua, stay at home, and their team should be fascinating this season. That AFC East too, man.
Is that team good enough now that even if he does get hurt, they can stay afloat because they got Mike White behind him now?
Yeah. I mean, you want to have that, you want to have that 49er story and have a Brock Purdy. Everybody wants a Brock Purdy now, well, at least for this season. But no, I honestly don't.
We've seen Mike White play well though.
No, I understand that.
And now he's going to be with an offensive genius.
I mean, yeah, you're playing with house money twice potentially if you're Mike White, but they already got script on you. It's like last year they didn't have no script on you. This year they got script on you because they know what you did in games. So realistically, I don't think so. I think if they lose Tua this year, I mean they're gonna lose him forever because they ain't gonna deal with him no more. And that's the end of the season.
So I guess that the question there would be, how much better do you think Tua is than Mike White?
I don't think.
Yeah, see, it's a weird. It makes it funny.
It's a weird question, but I just feel like the team likes both QBs. I'm gonna say, but I feel like the QB.
They know Tua.
They rock with Tua.
Yeah, they rock.
They want Tua to be great.
Yeah.
They want the backup to be great, but it's like, damn, you go into the backup now?
Look, they want the backup to be great. They don't want the backup to have to be great. That's the point. They don't want him to have to play.
Yeah. I didn't want to say don't want him to be great. That's so fucked up.
No, they want him to be great. They just don't want him to have to play ever.
They want him to play like, okay, if Tua gets hurt, get a sprained ankle, they just want you to play for the second half of the game. And then leave out. Not playoff material, regular season game.
Go take some knees at the end of wins for us, please. Like, that's what they want, if anything. All right, man, moving forward. So the next one is, this is fascinating on the defensive end, because if this happens, if they turn this around, this could be dangerous for the league. Last year, they were 13-4. The scoring defense, though, was tied for 28th, and their total defense was 31st. Only team worse was the Lions, and that is the Minnesota Vikings. Skull. Although it takes exceptional talent to flourish in the NFL, the presence of a high-end coach can help a group exceed expectations. First-year Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores will produce better results than predecessor Ed Donatel, thanks not only to his attention to fundamentals and detail, but his creative X's and O's as well. The former Dolphins head coach showed an ability to confound opponents with a bluff and blitz cover zero scheme in Miami. And I expect him to utilize some of those same tactics to help the Vikings diffuse the high-powered offenses around the league. Shit, even in his division. Coach Flo will transform a group lacking in star power into a disruptive force that creates chaos with blitzes and simulated pressures. As Flores works his magic, the brilliant defensive strategist could quickly reemerge as a head coaching candidate, having directed an impressive turnaround in short order. So there's a definite theme going on with what teams they feel are going to make jumps, and it's all around coaching. It seems to be all around coaching. Yeah. But let's see how y'all feel about the Vikings.
I mean, you want Minnesota's defense to be good, but
you want it, right? Because like then you know that like that team's dangerous because the offense is always legit.
But this is the crazy thing. I'm gonna say this. I mean, they potentially are gonna. I mean, they already cut Cook, right? So basically, Cook's gone.
Yeah.
Now you're relying on Madison. Shout out to Madison. He's gonna get a book. He has a brand new job, and that's to carry them home. I've seen it with my Cowboys. I've seen it with plenty of other teams. If the defense improves heavily in Minnesota, I don't think the offense stays on that same level. I think the Vikings will want the offense to stay afloat, and even if the Vikings defense stay how it's been, they'll be okay with that. I just have a shaky feeling that defense is good like that. I just got a feeling that offense is going to diminish a little bit. And we already talked about Kirk Cousins. How much longer is he going to play the quarterback position? He's ultimately going to have to play fucking bad.
To go play receiver? No, I'm kidding.
He's going to have to play bad. He's going to play horrible to get his spot taken, or is this the last season that they're going to deal with him? You got the best receiver in the game in Jefferson, and Addison should level off as a good receiver as well. So ultimately, defense may have to either do a lot more, or that defense may suck.
Brian Flores can work magic, but it's going to have to be a lot of magic here.
Kirk Cousins.
Okay, that's how we always get round off any Vikings debate. Just be like Kirk Cousins, and then we know.
He's Dak 2.0.
Imagine being better than Dak, but still disappointing. Because I think he's actually better than Dak, but he still disappoints.
Oh, to my physically?
Well, I mean, Dak's physically more gifted, but I just mean like I see him make better passing plays and just I think he just passes the ball better in general. But imagine having that ability and then still being disappointed.
After this year, he's a $28.5 million cap hit.
Kirk Cousins is part of that. That group of quarterbacks that'll. It's disappointing because they're good enough every year to make it that you can't draft a new one.
You want to hear this crazy thing? Kirk Cousins in his career, $231 million of that guaranteed, $229.
He's a hustler for sure.
He's been stealing money.
Yeah, he has been.
Robert Griffin III money.
The thing is that he puts up the numbers to get the money, though. He does put up the numbers.
Just think about it. Andrew Luck, Robert Griffin III. Look at all the QBs drafted in that draft class. And Kirk Cousins taking that's all that money put together for being the longest tenure QB of that draft potentially.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Hold on, I'm gonna go back out now real quick before
you got to be a polarizing ass player for us to be talking about defense, and then we still end up talking about you every time. Like,
because he's
you like that?
He's got all, especially last year. We obviously everybody thought they was on the opposite end. The year before where they lost a bunch of close ones, they won a bunch of close ones as well. But I'm like, when it just came down to when they finally matched up to a team that was at their skill level or better, got smashed. Mm-hmm.
It's just funny to call a guy the weak link because he is, but it's like the numbers and things that he puts up. It's really weird to call him. It's just like in the big moments, it doesn't happen for him.
Timing. Well, like I say, to me, he's equivalent because Dak picks up big numbers, but in the crunch time is when the cream rises to the top.
No lies told.
Sorry, so that was a mega draft. Actually, that draft had Russell Wilson, Ryan Tannehill, Brock Osweiler.
Wow, that's a black pass.
Brandon Weeden.
Brock Osweiler.
Oh, Brandon Weeden.
The Brockweiler. He had the greatest nickname for a bum ass player.
An unearned nickname.
And Kirk Cousins in that draft wasn't even ranked. I think he was. Brandon Weeden was drafted ahead of him.
Weeden. Okay. Now that we've gotten to the Weeden section of our podcast,
Osweiler was on. Yeah, we got to move on. Brock Osweiler. See, Kirk's my guy. That's why Kirk, stole this money because all these QBs mixed up, dog.
We're in deep waters if you talk about Brandon Weeden. You like that? You like that?
You like that?
Do not.
All right, and our last team on the defensive side of the ball, our last of our four, last year, 9-8 record. The darlings of the season last year because they had the Cinderella story last year.
Could have won the division too.
Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks. In scoring defense, they were 25th last year. In total defense, they were 26th. Pete Carroll finally has the pieces in place to recreate the dynamic defense that fueled the Seahawks' dominance in the mid-2010s. The Super Bowl winning coach has invested big bucks in draft capital to upgrade a unit that needed a little more pizzazz to play at an elite level. The return of Bobby Wagner, return of the Mac, brings leadership and swagger. The additions of Draymond Jones and Jaron Reed, another Seattle reunion, and Julian Love, and a more savvy and experience to the group. Rookies Devon Witherspoon and Derek Hall should step in as key contributors from day one. The Seahawks mix of new and old gives Carroll an opportunity to reclaim his crown as one of the top team builders in the game. Follow Bucky Brooks on Twitter. He did a good job on this.
Shout out to Bucky, man. You can catch Bucky as well, man, on the Colin Coward show sometime. Catch him over there. Bucky's a good dude.
That was a nice little excerpt, man. He kept it short and sweet. I like reading and responding to certain articles, but some people just fall in love with words and want to just write essays about things that they don't need to write about. That was nice, short and sweet, and he got to the point. So good job by Bucky.
Bucky should probably be at least somebody's assistant.
Yeah. He's gonna move up. The way he's working, he's gonna move up. What do y'all think about the Seahawks? I like what they're doing over there, honestly.
Crazy because 3 years ago we was talking like, damn. I mean, we was talking like, damn, maybe not. And then Russell Wilson's gone, and then you're like, damn, this is a full rebuild. And it's like all of a sudden now you're in a semi-rebuild because obviously you're rolling dice right now with what you got, but you have picks, you have a foundation, and you still have one of the best coaches in football history. Now scratching NFL, college, all that. He's still docking and jiving and
should have ran the ball.
And work. So yeah, and you gotta realize too, the NFL went college style a little bit. So who was the king when he was there in college? And that's Pete Carroll.
Yeah,
so
USC was popping.
I am not surprised that right now they're at this point. I'm surprised at who they got that they're at this point. And Geno Smith, I'm still surprised, but overall, I mean, we gotta definitely give more flowers than we gave ever to Pete Carroll.
I can't remember. Did he get a title at USC, at least one, or did he lose that game against?
I believe so.
Yeah, he got one and lost one.
Okay, he got one and lost one. He lost one in probably the greatest collge football championship game I've ever seen. So, and really just an absolute show by Vince Young, which is why he lost. He couldn't stop Vince. Yeah, so I think it's he's one of the, I don't know how many coaches have done it, but head coaches who have won in college and one on the big stage. So yeah, that's impressive.
Johnson. I think there's one more in there somewhere.
It's a short list, is what we know, that's for sure.
Ain't no Nick Saban on there.
Hey, I remember when he was here with the Patriots, and like, you know, it didn't look good. It didn't look very good for his professional career. He came back around, and he's honestly a singular running play probably from being a two-time champion in the NFL. So
the three coaches have done it: Pete Carroll, Jimmy Johnson, and Barry Switzer. But that was Jimmy.
Oh, those are some lovely names to be involved with, actually. Yeah, man. So, yeah, I always root for Pete Carroll, especially now that they gave Geno a shot. He didn't give him a shot. I mean, Geno earned it, but Geno earned it, and then he balled with Geno, and he did. But if you remember going into camp, he wasn't the favorite to get that job. Geno,
he wasn't,
and he won it. So yeah. I think look, I like what they're doing on defense. I like their moves this year, but I just like Tyreek Woolen from last year. I think that was a big addition to their team as a rookie. And I think he's going to keep getting better and better. He's faster, but he's a lot like Richard Sherman in that he got ball skills, catch up speed, and like good instincts at that position. He's still raw in learning the position overall in the league, but he got some good natural instincts. So what y'all thinking about this Seattle team?
Hey, sky's the limit for them, man. They're in the division right now where the 49ers, their only threat.
And they have quarterback problems.
And as much as we we thought they were rebuilding, now their objective this year is to be the best team in that division. I would hope so.
Yeah. I love you can always tell good coaching when a team can still compete while they're rebuilding. We used to deal with that with the Patriots. Like there would be years where our team was in a transition, but with Bill and Brady, we still would be competing while rebuilding. And that's what they're doing here. And yeah, man, shout out to Pete, man.
They're actually, if I'm looking at this, they're kind of playing with house money right now.
Yeah.
Their highest paid player is Jamal Adams as far as cap hit. And
it's a nightmare of a contract. Say it again, you might cut out a little. They need to get rid of that contract somehow.
I don't think they can, though. As a matter of fact, he and Quandre Diggs are both at $18.1 million cap hit.
I feel like he has stock options. That contract was so bad.
Actually, they can get out of it after this year. He'll only be He'll be a $14.2 million cap hit. And that dude's only 28 years old.
Who, Adams?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but he plays the pass like he's 42.
Yeah, he got exposed. Boy, he got exposed. He's a box safety.
Yeah, he's basically a de facto like linebacker.
I'm glad we dodged that bullet too.
Yeah.
Yes, glad we did because I thought we was going to get him, honestly. And how he is now and that money that obviously Seattle paid him, it's like, damn. Yeah, man. We're getting better guys now. We getting better guys now.
Your maniacal laugh.
Best defense in the NFL is the Cowboys, but I'm just letting y'all know that.
Third or fourth youngest team in the league, too. We'll take that. Yeah, this Cowboy time, Will.
You see, I started looking at my phone because I see what the fuck was happening.
Best defense is going to be the Cowboys.
So, next commercial break? That's what we're going to do, commercial?
I won't go commercial, bro. Damn, man.
Because the Cowboys weren't on my list, and so moving on.
Jerry hit me. Jerry told me I wasn't showing them love tonight in the Cowboys, so we gotta show the Cowboys.
Look, man, Jerry, we'll show you love when you start giving us tickets. We're done with this. We're done with this Took and Jerry friendship that results in no tickets.
And it does result in tickets. You damn liar! Don't over here.
You damn liar.
Let's make our relationship. Me and Jerry have a great relationship. We have a great relationship. I just said sometimes I can't travel to Dallas. But he gives me tickets, though. He doesn't care I don't use them. Yeah,
well, we're going to test that theory sometime this year.
Yeah, we are. October.
It's crazy. You like that?
Yo, I can't wait till the season starts, man.
I'm hyped for the season, especially after just reading that. I wouldn't have picked all those same teams, but most of them seem good. Like I said, okay, on the spot, I got that. I can run with that. He was like, "Oh, you talking shit, huh? Oh, you talking shit, huh? Well, then who was it gonna like? I'm saying, is Bucky your man like that? Yeah, I'm doubting his list, and you coming that? Let me think.
Just give me one on offense and one on defense.
Well, Let me just tell you the one that I'd subtract from each list. First, I'll start with who I would take off of this list because to add to the list, you got to take off. The Bears I liked. The Broncos made sense because of head coaching.
Mhm.
I don't know about the Jets. I guess because of Aaron Rodgers. The Pittsburgh one was the one that was weird to me.
Yeah.
Instead of Pittsburgh offensively, I actually, and not a homer, and you know it's not a homer pick because you know I don't even like our quarterback, but I might have picked our Patriots. I just think that they have more of an opportunity to be better this year than I think our jump on offense this year is going to be bigger than Pittsburgh's jump. And I think that because it can't be worse than what it was last year. We had a defensive coordinator as our offensive coordinator. And now we actually have a guy, O'Brien, who can – I bet we've actually seen him make terrible – even quarterbacks even worse than I view Mac. He's had them doing okay in the league. Not great. We mentioned one earlier today, Brock Osweiler. We only know that name, I'm pretty sure, because he was playing under O'Brien for a little bit there. Oh, no, wait. Was he?
He was in
Did Brock go to did he ever go to Texans?
He got that big money. When he brought for Denver that year, he got the big money.
And then he went to the Texans. Okay, I thought he went there. And then like what Ryan Mallett he had over there. Well, I just remember all the quarterbacks that Nuck was thrown under the bus at one point. He was like, I'm catching passes from nobody's basically.
Yeah, Nuke was still top 5 in the league.
Definitely.
Yeah, Nuke. I mean, if Nuke could be a little shell of himself around with those receivers, I mean, you could have put the Patriots on the list, definitely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, had we officially signed him, then yes. But I still like the moves we made. I still like the speed, and I think we got to steal one of the biggest steals in the draft in Keyshawn Boutte. So, and defensively, let me take a look at the list again. Defensively, I love the Lions being on that list. I think the Dolphins made sense. You know what? Yeah, I guess I can only give you the one because I don't think I would have changed anything about the defensive ones.
Okay,
I changed the Vikings. Vikings would have been on my list.
Oh yeah, the Vikings. Yeah. You're right. I forgot the Vikings. So maybe I would have took the Vikings off. And defensively, who would I have thought to made a jump? Actually, your Dallas Cowboys. I probably would have had on that list. I kind of really like what they did defensively.
I'm gonna go
in the draft.
Add somebody. I'll add the Giants defense to the list.
That's a nice, yeah. Here's the thing. I get it, but also I don't know how big of a jump they're gonna make because they were already pretty good defensively. But you're right. They can make a jump.
For me, I would take Pittsburgh off on offense like you.
Yeah.
I'll probably say in the place for Pittsburgh, I will probably say offensively. I'm kind of intrigued by what the Giants did. They brought in Waller, brought a couple of wideouts in from the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of leaning towards that way.
I'll give an honorable mention to Cleveland.
Ultimately, I got to go with Baltimore. New offense coordinator.
Fascinating.
More got paid.
He did.
They had pretty decent wideouts.
They did. At least one.
So, hopefully it's not the same thing where he's running 15, 20 times a game. And actually, harder now, by the way, you can't hand the ball off going forward anymore.
Oh,
that's a shitty. I hate that rule already. It's so stupid. But the only thing that I like about that rule, see, I have a controversial take on that rule. That rule just seems like, oh yeah, black quarterback's doing well. Let's stop that. It felt that way. But second of all, the part that
but to their skill set.
Yeah. The second part about that rule, the other part of the rule that I do like though is that it's a rule against offense, which holy hell.
They get enough benefits as it is.
No, that's why I'm shocked. Like it's like every single rule is to help the offense. And finally they made one that was like, yeah, maybe not. Like
how they say it will.
Maybe not.
They're taking the offensive two out the game, man. They must be up to something.
Yeah, something's afoot.
Somebody must be getting ready to get paid this year. They doing that for Justin Fields, dog. Damn, dog.
And like Will said on the defense, I do go with my Cowboys based on
I just love
drafting
what they did.
big guys. They're deep across the middle. The only spot that they have, I think, a weakness on defense, linebacker. Because if something happens to Micah, or is Micah having to step up to play more on the edge, you got some pretty young guys back there. Or Van Der Esch shows that he gets hurt. So you got to depend on the Cox. You got to depend on
How is that blank space in the back of your room not with an Overshawn picture already, like or a jersey?
Trust me.
Y'all want to hear some crazy? Y'all want to hear some reported news going out? So Antonio Brown's accountant is saying that the game checks from the players of the team was taken away from them because of missing equipment.
Y'all believe in it, man?
Stolen equipment.
That's a good little loophole they tried to run with, though.
Including team footballs, helmets, and jerseys.
He full of shit.
All the items in the locker room when I left, the area has been unsecured. We still have no equipment. This does not excuse the lack of communication with the head coach. Damn, man. AB, man, messing up semi-league teams. He ain't shit.
He really
ain't shit for that. Interception! Like now, like I can understand you trying to fuck up, some shit in the NFL and do all that shit, but nah, man. These are people like that get paid nothing basically to do what they love. And you just doing that shit like
he just shit on a minor league team.
Are you not gonna really spend $300, bro? Because really? Fuck out of here, dude.
He just went and tanked the semi-pro team. It's so wrong. Like it's
so wrong. You don't even deserve a job ever. And no, even if the fucking NFL had a big 3 league, you don't even deserve to be in that shit.
He just robbed the Boston Raiders.
No, Boston Raiders were giving them a better name. It's more like the Brookline Patriots back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that's rough.
Definitely. Crazy.
Well, we got another topic or commercial break?
Who gotta go to bed?
Who gotta go to bed?
Yo, I'm acting like I ain't gotta wake up in like 4 hours.
God damn.
I got trained all week. That's crazy, dog.
That's wild.
On Wednesday, dog. I'm scared of that shit. I ain't trying to do no shit on nobody.
All right, man. Shout out to everybody who joined, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We'll get out of here quick. MVP was Kawan. He was going hard all day. Appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the brand. We done.
Yeah, yo, come on, man. We want to know how you feel about Lamar staying the Ravens. We haven't heard from you for a while. I guess now since Lamar, and the Ravens and smooching again, we can hear from you. But I'll text you about that.
He thinks I forgot. He gave up. He was like, Lamar's gone. And then suddenly, Hey, Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. We got the chop up tomorrow, man. Definitely tune into that, man. Same time, different circumstances. Like, share, and subscribe. The brand all over all platforms that you choose to be on. Whichever one you choosing, we did. So holla at us, definitely. And have a great night. Rainy Tuesday in New England. So wear your umbrellas, everybody.
So just a Tuesday in New England.
Shout out to you fellas, man. Shout out to Bobby, Dale, Daryl, Bernard, Kawan, William. If I forgot anybody, I apologize. But we appreciate y'all hanging out with your boys. Doing a damn thing. Tigers are 18-4 shit. But
they didn't call the game yet?
The Mercy
Throw in the damn towel. Throw in the damn towel.
Yeah, remember they used to play that show on TNT, though? Or inside the NBA?
Yeah, that shit's hilarious, bro.
But we appreciate everybody, man. And what we got tomorrow? The
chop up. Chickity chop up. I don't even know what my topic's gonna be. Might be weird laws again because I ain't got shit yet. But I'm
we got an interesting topic that's gonna hit the airwaves tomorrow, man. Because that's already been talked about around the world. But the parlay got to get their opinions and perspectives on things. So that's what we're gonna do tomorrow, man. So stay tuned, man. The chopper's gonna be really chopped up. So you'll see the triangle offense there. If we see Jake, the bench player, coming off the bench tomorrow, we might be up 30. We might bring him in. Come tune in. Ride with us. We here.
Send me a lefty. Well, we appreciate y'all. Number love. Parlay loves everybody. STW Studios love everybody. We up out this bitch. Peace.
Peace.